It is time now for all things current in California politics. Joined again this week, Editor-in-Chief of Capital Weekly, Rich Ehisen. Rich, good to see you. So California, the home of artificial intelligence, probably no doubt about that. The AI people are making a lot of money, but conversely, tech jobs are way down. So is there a possibility, and we're hearing this, about an AI bubble burst? What would that do to our tax revenue?
Well, it certainly is a lot of the talk around the Capitol right now. And, and we saw some talk about this at, the international gatherings of late. I think there is a lot of concern that this could be a bubble. Certainly some very well-respected financial people are saying that. I think if it did happen, it could be pretty devastating. Those are some of the predictions we're seeing. California's already got a budget issue. Now, the governor and the LAO don't agree on what the size of that gap is, but we know there is one. If we lose even more wealth tax, and of course, some of this, there's other issues at play here I think we're going to talk about.
Yes.
It could be devastating.
So that said, one-time 5% tax on state billionaires. Is this going to make it to the November ballot? Governor is not supporting this, apparently. Right. Are the ultra wealthy who may be affected by this packing up and leaving already?
Well, a lot of that's anecdotal, but it certainly sounds like that's a possibility. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they have to get about 900,000 signatures to get this onto the ballot. Now, once something gets on the ballot, it's anybody's game, right? Because a lot of money is going to get spent both directions to try to get this approved by voters if it gets on the ballot. Yes, the governor has come out strongly against it. People like Bernie Sanders have come out strongly in favor of it. Ro Khanna, a few other leading Democrats have come out in favor of it. A lot of more moderate Dems have come out against it as well. I think it's going to be a really interesting thing to see if they can get the signatures. Right. After that, we'll see.
Right. Okay. Governor was recently invited and traveled to Switzerland to oppose President Trump. This at the Economic Summit. He was then not allowed to speak. Yeah. Your thoughts first on the governor actually being there in Switzerland?
Well, I think this governor and really Jerry Brown before him has spent a lot of time traveling internationally to represent California as a nation state, which, under the definition, we do pretty much qualify for that. Now, that being said, it was also obvious that he went there to be a very visible opponent of Donald Trump's. And of course, then the president did what he had the power to do, which was to stop him from having a prime speaking slot. That said, who did it help the most? I don't really know. Newsom was able to use that as a tool when he talked about how the president continued to try to diminish him because of, being from California, et cetera. I'll call it a standoff right now.
All right. So on we go till the next time.
On we go.
Okay.
Yes.
Rich Ehisen, good to see you. Thank you.